Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having an amazing day. Taking a quick look here at Bitcoin, seeing what's going on in this sea of red. Yeah, you heard me right. It's a red Monday. Big surprise, right? We kind of get used to this. I mean, the last few Mondays have been pretty significantly red. No surprise after kind of a stagnant weekend at that resistance of 28,000. So if you see here on the chart, just really quick to note, I sent this out previously late last week, just kind of letting you know Bitcoin is likely to pull back. We cannot surpass 28,000, which we didn't. And now we're seeing that decrease in value. Keep in mind, we are still ascending positively here, so there is truth here in the sense that we could see a bounce off the 27,280, 27.3 mark. But once more, there's a slightly larger probability of the price going down than up. Again, just based on that one thing. We're going to look at a few other factors, of course, some back-end data, and make sure that we understand specifically what's going on with open interest and obviously liquidation levels too. So important stuff here today. And if you are new to the channel, thanks again for joining me. Hope you have a great rest of your day after watching and you learned something here today. Quickly to note, we got some nice shorts here in the mix. Avalanche target 51%. We took a, was it ZRX short trade yesterday, 8 hours, 50%. I think prior to that we had another one too. Was it? I think there's a, yeah, lever, there we go, 82% in 2 days. So it was a nice week for shorts here for us. We've got a few other longs that are adding to their position on the way down, effectively averaging down, because again, we like to swing trade with a larger net, if you will, with a 5x leverage and low position size. So it is recommended to do something along those lines if you are going to swing trade. Keep in mind, the market is not forgiving for swing traders. So you got to recognize that a different strategy is appropriate. So again, if you want to be part of that, cryptocash.tech is the site where you can register. If you're currently a community member, be sure to watch my trading videos that I have on the website to ensure you're getting the most out of your membership so you can kind of learn the some best practice stuff, things I like to teach in these videos. So when it comes to best practice for situations like this, well, let's open up for some backend data so we can kind of know what's going on with the big picture, right? It's pretty obvious that we're seeing a lot more liquidations here today to the downside than the upside. Okay, so big surprise there. But as far as liquidation levels are concerned, we have a lot of liquidation averaged at about 25,600. Okay, so keep in mind for long positions here, essentially, most of them are hedged right there at 25.6. So again, definitely something you want to kind of think about here, or just note that in general, that's a price point that is important. If we come down that low, we could see the price point a lot lower than that, because that's when a lot of liquidations will occur and the price will continue much further. We can kind of see here as well, when we take a look at shorts, we have more longs than shorts in the market right now at this point. Okay, so slowly but surely, we're starting to see more longs in the market over the last few days. Okay? Now, it really does tell us here that with there being less shorts in the market, that people are biased to the 27,000 range being a good support. And I kind of agree to that. I do feel like we might see one more leg down just based on the simple fact that we do have somewhat of an Elliot wave pattern forming right now, and I'll talk about that here in a minute. But the truth is here that that the mindset is shifting. So even though we're seeing the price pulling back here today, we're not as concerned as we were previously. We're starting to average out this time frame. Okay? So again, I'm more along the lines of seeing a liquidation level about 26, 27,000 because there's a lot of those I've discussed here previously. I send that on my Twitter and Telegram, but truth is here we can kind of see that that is definitely a possibility. Actually, you know what? We just got notified here. Let's take a look here for our premium. Oh, there we go. Lever. We finally hit all targets 7 days later, 120%. Congrats again to our community members for that. That's awesome. All right, so what I want to talk about here, though, really quick, is for open interest for our longs. We want to talk a little bit about this here. Now, just to quickly note, for longs, we can kind of see here that they're averaged out right here at the current price point. We're probably going to see shorts too, roughly at about the 27,500 mark. But right now, most longs are in the red. Okay? And it's important to know that because that's going to be somewhat of a resistance level for us. Same thing here with shorts too, yeah. So again, we got the most open interest at 27.5, price actions at 27.3 right now. So if we take a look, of course, at the liquidation levels, this is where things get kind of interesting. Because it's, in the big picture, we're seeing a lot of liquidation levels right at the price point below us here. So again, 27,000, we have the largest amount of volume based on liquidation potential at that level. So if we do hit 27,000, you can expect a candle wick down to 26.5, maybe even 26,000 to finish that liquidation run. And this happens quite a lot. In fact, hold on, let's go ahead and do this here. Let's go with a 1 month just really quick to get perspective. So you can kind of see what I'm referring to previously with the amount of liquidation. Because again, even though we have a most recent level of a liquidation at 27,000, that's what we just zoomed in on at the 7-day mark. In the big picture here, for the last 1 month's worth of trading, we have a tremendous amount of volume at 25.3, no surprise. But alternately, right there at 25.6, so anything underneath 26,000 is going to be a disaster. Okay, so again, we do see a wick down to 26,000, and absolutely see that continue to run even further. There's tons of liquidation just below that. So again, a lot of longs are in the green right now when they longed at 25,000, but their liquidation levels are potentially coming to an end here. So just be mindful that we could very well see something like that happen. Okay? So what we want to talk about next here is a few key factors. So first of all, we're still holding over 50 on the RSI, and we're holding above this ascending trend. Okay? So I wouldn't, be the old town crier and run to the fences and say that Bitcoin's going to dump. This may already be the initial dump, and we could be in the good. Okay? We could be good. But truth is, we're still tentatively bullish on the midterm time frame here, basically on the larger, daily. So I would just respect the fact that we haven't broken that trend yet. Okay, I'm going to remove this here just so we can kind of clarify the scene. And what we want to see as well is, big surprise, strong rejection off the 200-day SMA. But keep in mind, the more often you test a level, the more likely it is to break. So there is truth that we could very well break through this here, and that could be a thing of the past. So 28.5, 28,000. If we get through that range there, we should definitely see the 30,000 range. Okay? But if we close below, just say 27, 28,000, right in that range, correction, 27, 26.5, then we're going to probably be able to see the price action continue lower. So the good news is we got the 50-day SMA and the 20-day SMA below the price action right now, holding the price action in place for the moment. Okay, so again, not bullish by any stretch, but still tentatively more so than not, if you will. All right, again, ascending trends are your friend until they're not. And same thing with the RSI here, holding above 50 is a positive sign. We do also have a lot of money flow into this coin here as well, so those are mostly contributing factors. Okay, let's take a quick peek at the volume here. We are still maintaining below the moving average, so that's typically disadvantageous. We need to be able to have a lot more volume above that level to be able to see the price action come higher. So again, we're kind of at this 50-50 mark, but still slightly more likely to increase than decrease in the overall sense. Okay. Keep in mind, we haven't broken a lower low just yet. We are parallel right now with the 4-hour. So in truth, this is not fantastic. We're getting close to an overextended state to the downside. And it's very, very common for Bitcoin or any coin, for the most part, to bounce off of 70 on the RSI on the 4-hour when the price action comes down that low. In fact, you look at its history, most of the time when you see the price action hit that level, it'll recover quite swiftly. Okay? So you can kind of see here, we're getting closer to that level. There's a chance the price action could increase from here. Okay? So not saying we're just going to see a massive bounce here at this level, but I am saying that we have a lot more support than you might think at this current range. Okay? So let's talk about the other side of this equation here, right? Because obviously there's a potential for downside. And Elliot Wave is kind of telling us here that we are fulfilling our ABC pattern with us having hit that highest point there at 28,300. Again, that is basically a lower high from previous. Okay? So once you hit your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you're typically expecting to see a lower low, a lower high, and then a lower low. Okay? So this does imply this next lower low, it may not come down this low, but it will absolutely, or more than likely than not, come lower than this most recent here. So we should experience a low lower than 27,150 in the relative near future if Elliott Wave were to fulfill its complete itself, if you will. Okay. Again, statistical probability of this happening is higher than not, because when you do fulfill this complete pattern, the likelihood is fairly high that it's going to finish. Okay. So we could just see a small candle wick down here to retest this support and continue back up. We could even see that the price nosedive from here. But generally speaking, that is something we want to pay attention to. To me, it's something I like to look at. We also want to kind of look at some previous, just say, the 1 month high, 1 month close, because previous month closes are pretty strong supports. So keep in mind 26,900 is a potential support level here, right there on Fibonacci retracement there too. So to me, it does seem fairly likely that we're going to see a bounce here at about 27,000. So if you're leaning a little bit more towards a long position, 27,000 would be a decent long. But once again, you got to keep in mind, we'd be establishing lower lows and lower highs at that point, and that's never a great sign. That's not the kind of dip that you want to buy, again, traditionally. But once more, we are ascending positively still in the overall sense of things. We're still above some key level moving averages on the daily. So those are important factors. Last but not least here, let's go ahead and take a quick look at Ichimoku Cloud. This is not going to be a surprise. We're fairly range bound right now, and we're below the cloud, but generally speaking, we still have all green lights here to leave your short position open if you have one. Okay? So again, don't take your profits just yet, but consider taking profits in the relative near future because we are starting to see the conversion line and the baseline intersect, and more important, the lagging span is potentially going to overlap the price action. So I would say in the next 12 hours, if the price stays where it's at, it'd be a good consideration to take some profit. Maybe consider a long position if we can consolidate at this lower support level. But for right now, there's no doubt that we have seen fairly range-bound activity in the last 7 days. Okay, so roughly 28,000 as low as about 27,000. So 27 to 28 is a tentative range for the moment. We could very well see a situation where the price action continues lower because of that, though. A lot of times you'll see it work into a rectangle and then continue lower because it originated from this upside here. So once more, the smaller time frames kind of leaning a little bit more towards further downside, or the larger time frames telling us we could very well still see that ascending trend hold its place. So to me, when we have situations like this, if I'm going to take a trade, I would take a small position closer to 27,000 as a potential long. Just say hypothetically, if I were to take a long at that point, it would be low position size, low leverage. It's kind of par for the course for me, honestly. But generally speaking, it keeps me safe in this market in case the price wicks down. We can still survive that dip. Okay? Again, please be careful with high leverage and high position size. You see it happen across the the social media, wherever you're following. It's important to recognize that those kind of trades are extremely risky, and if you're the kind of person who likes to risk it, that's okay. I'm a little more risk averse, and I like to kind of survive these markets, not just thrive or die. Right? I don't know. I've been trading for over 20 years, and I tell you, over the years, I got a little more careful. So if you're new to trading, please use low risk if you're going to be trading with high leverage. Okay. All right, that's about all we got here. So thanks again so much for watching. Hope this was a good educational experience for you. If you want to comment below, let me know how you feel about Bitcoin, or just generally if you learned something here today, it'd be great to hear. What are your thoughts generally? I mean, love to know that. Comment below. Follow us on social media. Obviously, Discord as well is a good place too. We've got some awesome traders over here, and it's been a good experience overall. Just have tons of new members coming through too. And again, congrats to a lot of our current members, both premium and non. I mean, it's fantastic to be able to kind of learn from you. But well done. If I'm pronouncing that correctly, Gilia? I'm not sure. Apologize, but well done on this here too. She's been killing it lately too. Fantastic results. Keep up the good work, everyone. Really appreciate y'all. All right, I hope you have a good rest of your day. Thanks again for your time. We'll see you in the next one. Take good care.